Hello, this is Paramjit Singh. Thank you very much for stopping by once again to the Passing Clouds of series of podcasts and videos. So, whenever we think about decision making, how do you think people make mistakes? Or why do we think that certain group of people make more mistakes and that's why they are in the state they are in? And other people make less number of mistakes and that's why they are in the state they are in. So namely, we often tend to think that rich people make less number of mistakes as well as poor people makes more number of mistakes, and that's usually the narrative you hear in the motivational speeches and everywhere, that poor people are poor because they make more number of mistakes. But what if we put this question through the test, through the lens of scarcity? And scarcity is that whatever we don't have is going to likely impact the quality of our decision making. So if you want confidence, if you are in want of risk potential, if you are in want of resources, whether those are financial, political, personal, if you are in want of good educational upbringing, all these things which you lack to some extent or to more extent is going to impact the quality of your decision making. And you will notice that a person who has been unsuccessful, and usually in our society we tend to equate unsuccess or non-success with poverty, these people tend to continue to make or become victim to the similar kind of mistakes. And one way to explain those mistakes is that whatever we don't have or whatever we lack is very much likely impact the quality of our decision making. On the other hand, if you take the example of successful or rich people, they have an overabundance of these kind of things. They have, for most of the people, that could be just a required amount of confidence, resources, financial, mental, political. They may have privilege, legacy, or historical. They may have other factors which could actually positively impact their decision making. But if you think about this, if you have an overabundance of confidence, overabundance can actually lead to hubris, and hubris can compromise the quality of your decision making. And through the history, we can pick up various instances where very successful people end up making very foolish mistakes, which in the hindsight of an ordinary person doesn't make sense. But it is worth remembering that whatever you lack, whether that lack is perceived or real, it is going to impact the quality and the robustness of your decision making. So if you have been very successful, you might tend to become overconfident and you might lack humility. And that lack of humility would in fact distort your perceptual system, thereby making you vulnerable to make more decisions which are defective and harmful in the long scheme of things. Successful or rich people might misattribute the talent and the hard work. They might be disconnected from the reality and all sort of things. So whatever you have in abundance, after it goes over a certain extent, it can begin to impact the quality of your decision making. So you will notice that poor people can make mistakes because of the lack of confidence, because of the lack of risk taking, because of the lack of resources. And exactly in the same manner, rich people can make mistake because they have overabundance of those things. So at the end of the day, both groups will end up making mistakes for similar reason, if not exactly the same reason. So next time when you're tempted to think that poor are poor, successful are rich because the quality of their decision making, just take a moment to pause and put that thought through the test of scarcity and see how it goes. Because whatever you don't have, whatever you lack, is going to very likely impact the quality of decision making. If you lack humility, that will, in the long scheme of things, will impact your quality of judgment and thereby impacting the quality of the decision making, which may be defective in the long scheme of things. And if you lack confidence, you are most likely to be impacted by that lack. So one of the lessons we can learn from here, especially if you're successful and continues to stay successful and continue to want to stay successful, is to have a little bit dose of reality and humility, and not over conflating the value of your talent, because you do not know how many random factors, when they met with your talent, has brought you the success. So having a little bit of humility is helpful for any leadership aspirant. And if you have not been successful and you want to learn a thing or two from it, just revving up your confidence a little bit, garnering more resources, can help you eliminate some of the defections in your decision making process. So that's it for today. If you find this conversation useful, kindly join me in leaving a comment, and I would happily join you in the conversation. If you have any experience to share, please leave it in the comment section. In the meantime, thank you very much for stopping by, and we will see you next time. Bye bye for now.
Please subscribe to the channel, like and share. Thank you.